Howdy, stranger.
Don't say howdy, stranger to me.
I'll be back.
Hello and welcome to the 2 Minute Terminator, the show where we break down the Terminator bolt by bolt, screw by screw, 2 minutes at a time. I'm Ethan McKinley, your host. You can find me at ethanmckinley.com. To my left is Joe Tucker, journalist and blogger extraordinaire.
And science fiction writer.
And
I'm in a movie where I'm something to do with Merlin and King Arthur and all that kind of shit.
Oh, he's of course referring to Arthur and Merlin, The Legend Begins, a film that I, Ethan McKinley, actor comedian, am in, and you can see that now on VOD, which is at arthurandmerlin.co.uk.
Hashtag don't
These
care.
guys so love me talking about this film. It's become now.
It's literally like a cheese grater to my ears.
Yeah, our regular
Ellie
listeners must be doing their head.
The other co-host. How are you?
Who's in the sequel to Arthur and Merlin?
Hopefully playing Tyrion Lannister's niece, another midget.
Yeah, who will actually slay the character that Ethan McKinley is going to play.
This
So I literally can't take it anymore.
I won't mention anymore. I'm sorry, everyone.
You will.
Of course I will.
Every fucking episode.
Of course I will. We're on episode 27, and that basically is minute 52 to 54. No, it isn't. No, it is. It's all good.
Some gold in these 2 minutes.
It's one of my favourite scenes in this, actually.
Yeah, it's basically the Terminator entering an abandoned, I guess, motel room and doing some self-assigned surgery. So
Well, it can't. First of all, it can't be abandoned because the dude later on is just like room service.
Or no one's. You think? Okay, we'll start from the scratch. Do you think he's already had that room set up?
I don't think he's had it already set up.
Because when he walks in and the window's open, he's nonchalant. It seems like he's been using it as a kind of home base. I don't know.
Maybe he's just comfortable.
This
that
actually
there's no
comes
threat.
into something that I wanted to mention.
Did he
and
climb
that's
up
the
a
fact
fire
that
escape?
He's climbed up the fire escape. That would suggest to me
Found
that he
an
doesn't
empty
have
room.
a key.
Mm-hmm.
But does it not seem?
Why would it suggest that to you?
Just I don't know.
I think it was just maybe he climbed up the fire escape just because it was the easiest access to the room from the street.
Do you think he would have knowing the Terminator, he just would have gone into anyone's room and just killed them? Why would he pick an empty room?
The point I wanted to make, Ethan, was
I'm so sorry. Rewind. I'm actually wrong. They're not motels, are they? Maybe it's just an apartment building, and the janitor's just like, "Hey, buddy, you got a dead cat in there?"
yeah. Fuck you, asshole.
Maybe it's just like a derelict building, and some of the
So the whole point in that scene is that he's going to sort out his wounds, his artificial wounds.
This feels like the first actual episode we've done in 10 episodes, by the way.
I know.
How weird is that?
How come there's already a scalpel and bandages and everything?
Well, maybe he's just got
He
like
would
a
maybe
little
have picked them up
pouch.
somewhere. Maybe broke into a pharmacy or something on the way to wherever he would be going.
Yeah, I think there's some things you've just got to leave
In this
to
sober
the
episode.
movie magic of the movies.
Just thought it was kind of,
It's an incongruency.
yeah.
Yeah. So at
Maybe-
this point, does that take some of the shine off it?
No, but I was just thinking to myself as we were watching this on loop. I was thinking, actually, how come he had all this stuff?
Loop, of course, is the computer system I use.
Loop, loop. Not the sound that Bigfoot makes.
The end of the scene obviously concludes with Michael Biehn telling Dr. Silverman bits and bobs of the future war. And it's kind of like elaborate.
He's a loon.
Elaborate, I guess, what is it?
History.
What do you call it though when someone makes up a story and they believe it so much it becomes their
A
reality?
delusion.
Delusion.
Yes, this mass
Thank
delusion.
God that Joe is here.
No problem, guys.
You had a question. I'm not sure if it actually relates to this show, but it was interesting nonetheless. What would happen if the Terminator completed his mission and killed Sarah?
Right, so I've come onto moviemistakes.com and people are asking very pertinent questions. And let's have a look. It says, this has actually asked quite a few questions that we have in the previous episodes following up to this about like the Terminator's voice and things like that.
Excellent.
I know, right? If only I'd found this a few episodes ago.
About the Terminator's voice, have you seen at all that? So we can go back a couple of episodes and discuss the sexy black soul singer cop voice that William Wisher's character, that Arnold Schwarzenegger, stole.
The actual question was, why is the Terminator able to talk when he looks like a human, but doesn't talk when he doesn't have the living tissue on?
I guess that's to do with the tongue and muscles and things.
It's not that he could not talk, but perhaps he just had nothing to say. Once his skin burns off.
Great answer.
He was still in pursuit mode to terminate his target. Before the skin burned off, he was chasing him in the scene. He wasn't saying anything either. It is also logical to say that the wreck and gas tanker exploding, which causes skin to burn off, go away attention thing, burn off likely could have damaged internal components of the Terminator by impact force as well as the extreme heat.
I presume not just the voice modulator, but he'd use lung capacity and vocal cords and things, which would I presume be there if he was wrapped in flesh.
Oh yeah, here it
I thought
is.
he's just got skin. He doesn't have organs as well.
No.
No?
This is why I think the whole thing about them eating and shitting and
Yeah.
it doesn't really.
The other question, of course, is
back.
if his voice is formed by using actual flesh and body parts,
Yes.
then he would have to squeeze air through his throat in order for there to be a sound coming out. If that's the case, then where would the air come from? Would he have a little kind of ball of air in his body somewhere that kind of squirts out air when he needs to talk, or is it from a digitized speaker of some form?
I reckon it'd be like a record and playback.
I think there's
With
both.
a fart noise.
There's
Yeah, go.
logistical problems with both of those solutions to that, issue.
Like a Victorian bellows.
Incidentally,
I was just thinking the sound that your left pectoral makes. It's the collapse. It's the sad boob.
It's
I
the
wonder
collapsed lung.
if people at home know that Ethan is quite as buff as he is.
Check him out
Right,
by
I
going.
don't think I'm buff.
You're pretty buff, dude.
Check him out.
I've got a chest like a wet blanket. You can find me at Ethan McKinley on IMDb.com.
He has one good boob and then one sad boob.
I think
Hit quote Ethan.
I think most people do though, don't they?
there's one person.
Doesn't everyone have like a different sized breast, male and female?
Guys,
Some people do.
There is one person that we
Everyone's
have on
different,
IMDb.
Ethan.
We do IMDb a lot on this
Yes.
podcast, and that's you, Ethan. So I'm going to IMDb. What's your surname? McKinley.
McKinley. Ooh, this is an interesting episode.
MICKEYMOUS.
Boom, here he is. Also, guys, bearing in mind that we're talking about the robot limb being fixed.
Prosthetic limb.
I've actually got. Look at this. This is a YouTube video we're watching. Just Google Terminator arm prosthetic limb, and up will pop a YouTube video of a dude who this is 2 years ago now actually, who's got a prosthetic arm that's controlled by his mind. Look at this. Look at him. Look at that.
Holy shit, that's amazing.
That's actually connected, and he's controlling it with his brain.
Do you know what? It looks a bit more like the RoboCop arm.
Yeah.
It does. It's a bit smoother. We have the technology.
Who would win in a fight, Terminator or RoboCop?
Well, they're actually a series of comic books of Terminator and RoboCop made by Dark Horse Comics.
Jesus Christ, with the knowledge.
They
I'm
do
so
crossovers.
impressed.
There's even a Terminator and Judge Dredd. And I think,
Oh,
I might be
Ethan.
wrong. I know there's a Judge Dredd versus Aliens, and there's Judge Dredd versus Predator, and Batman versus Predator. I'm not sure if there's a RoboCop versus... What were we talking about again?
RoboCop versus Terminator.
There's the RoboCop versus Terminator for sure. I'm not sure if there's a RoboCop versus Predator or Aliens.
But who would win?
I guess probably Terminator because it seems like
Why?
Because it seems it's faster. It can run.
Why?
Faster it can run. It's got more mobility. It's more like ergonomically closer to a human, whereas a RoboCop is like quite stiff and slow.
Yeah, but he's
Yeah.
insanely strong though.
So is RoboCop. I mean, so's Terminator.
Your IMDb's pretty impressive, and if I compare your IMDb to other IMDb's of movie stars that have kind of totally made it, this is what the start of their IMDb. If you scroll back through, I don't know, Arnold Schwarzenegger's
It's just my CV
IMDb.
they've copy and pasted in.
Well,
and
no,
they
but it's like this looks like the start of a really good acting career.
You'd
this
think
is.
it would, wouldn't you?
It does.
But
It
I'm
does.
really awful at learning lines.
Well, I think because Ethan
Hello.
in his
There you go.
soz in the film that he has just shot, I think he's a bit too good looking.
What relative to the other cast members?
Yeah.
I was
Do
basically.
you
I
get
was,
that problem a lot,
No,
Ethan?
this has
No.
just happened in Arthur and the...
I'm in the scenes and then I just disappear at the film, and because I was cast late and the director didn't approve me, I was like a last minute replacement for another actor. When I walked in, he said, I don't believe this at all, but he said because I was a foot taller than
Yeah, you are taller than
Arthur and
everyone else.
Merlin.
Did he say this guy's too?
I was too modelly looking.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I love the fact.
Too hot for screen, apparently.
I think I was played down. We run across a mountain. Then
There are some ridiculously moody shots, actually, where you're sat round by the fire.
Brooding.
Yeah.
Well, our lands have been taken. We reduced.
Give
from
us
mere
a line
hunters.
from the movie, Ethan.
Found them in the wood. They were fleeing the king's men.
He says it just like that. Right.
People who liked Merlin on IMDb also liked Soldiers and the Damned, Hooligans at War, another Merlin movie.
All classics.
Mr. Poach,
That's got Brian Blessed in it.
Mr. Bojagi.
No. Well, Marco Van Bell directed that. I think that's his debut feature. Debut.
7.9 on IMDb. What's your movie got on IMDb? 8.6. How?
Honestly, I'm not saying this because I'm not really into that much, but like it's.
I'm giving it a 10.
It's a really
I've
good
got a
movie.
load.
It
honestly,
is a good
guys.
movie. I think the thing, even though obviously the acting was good, and I think the setting and the music for
Breathtaking
me
scenery.
was the best. The music's really good, and who does the music? Plowman.
Graham Plowman, a first-time
Graham
composer.
Plowman.
who's
Ellie, what
amazing.
really unnerves me about this whole conversation is that for the duration of our podcast, we berate Ethan for banging on about the
And now we're
Arthur and
fucking
Merlin,
talking
and
about
he's brainwashed us into bigging up his own stuff. We've become
I
we've become his
NLP'd you.
whores.
I neuro-linguistically programmed you.
Maybe one day, Joe, we can do a podcast about Arthur and Merlin.
Yeah, well,
We can
Don't even
dissect it.
funny you should say that because this Monday, folks, on my sister podcast, EthanMcKinley.com,
Oh, I'm
and
done.
the podcast is questionable. We're doing an Arthur and Merlin movie special with the director and cast.
Yep.
Come on. Anyway, back to Terminator.
Yeah, what I'd like to do is there's a lot of good dialogue in this bit, particularly the lines from the criminal psychologist. I'd
Yeah.
like to kind of can we turn it up and have a listen because we haven't really listen to this guy.
Let's.
So, you're a soldier.
So sarcastic.
I know. Arthur.
With the 132nd under Perry,
Yeah.
21 to 27.
That's the year 2027.
That's right. And I was assigned to
This is
recon
fucking
Fury
great.
the last 6 years under John Connor.
Who was the enemy again?
A computer defense system built for
His pager goes off. I love it.
SAC
One of my
NORAD by
favourite characters in the
Cyberdyne
movie because
systems.
he's just so
I see.
such an
Charismatic.
arse. Yeah, he's an arse.
This computer thinks it can win by
It's the monotone
killing the
voice.
mother of its
And look at that check shirt.
Killing
It's
him,
like
in effect,
green, yellow, and
before he's
red. It's
even
like
conceived.
Rasta check.
sort of
Rastafari
retroactive
check.
abortion. That guy Silverman cracks me up. Last week he had this guy near that burned his Afghan. He screwed it first, then he said,
A dog, I guess, an Afghan.
So hang on a sec. Was that like mini anecdote he was just dropping in a story about a nutter that last week in the cop?
Had sex with his dog and set fire to it.
It happens, man.
And then the scene ends with, or begins rather, with Arnold turning on the lone light switch and with his damaged eye. This is also a great sequence. Special effects by Stan Winston, who did the robotic arm. This is, of course, Arnold's real arm, and then as he pulls the thing back, it's still his real arm. But when he goes in with the scalpel, that's obviously the fake arm. It's still pretty good. Holds
Is
up.
it? Do they use a real arm?
That's the fake arm now, I think.
But is that so? So that is actually that's like been made.
Yeah, and when he uses the mechanical clamps to peel the arm back, that's of course another mechanical arm. Failing that, it might be a real hand coming through the desk with a mechanical arm coming off it.
They don't get a person's arm, like a dead guy's arm.
No, but it looks pretty rubbery, so I'm reckoning the whole arm when he uses the pulls the tendons with the pliers.
There's something
that's
that-
the fake arm.
There we
some-
go.
Yeah, you
For
can
show.
see. There's something great about 80s
Oh god,
80s
it's
effects.
just so good. That's
Still looks
why
alright,
Like,
though.
with
it
the
looks
new
great.
movie, like when we did the review on the new trailer, everything's
That shitty
CGI.
episode we did.
It's just it kind of loses its, I don't know.
Charm.
Yeah, and it's artisticness and
Another great sci-fi movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger that's got fantastic effects is Total Recall.
fuck yes.
Remember
That's,
the third boob?
oh the lady, damn baby, you made me wish I had 3 hands.
Well, Rob Bottin did the effects for that, by the way.
There you go.
He did
I'm
the
impressed
Thing
with
and The
your
Howling.
script knowledge of various different science fiction movies.
Oh no, honestly, I absolutely love it. Like,
That's pretty
all of
impressive.
that. If it's an old kind of like science fiction movie or anything with Arnold Schwarzenegger in, or
Favorite sci-fi movie?
it's got to be the Alien movies. I fucking
All of them.
Movie.
Yeah.
well, Aliens. I wasn't a big fan of the third one, and I'm really sorry, Ethan, but I actually really quite enjoyed the fourth movie.
Salvation.
No, that's
No,
Oh no,
he
sorry,
means
Royal
Alien
Aliens.
Resurrection.
Yeah, sorry, I just tuned out for a second.
no, I love it.
Wasn't your
I
fault.
recently went to Forbidden Planet and bought myself a dog alien, and I got the
Yeah.
Alien 3.
yeah.
Nice.
And I got myself like a big book, and it's the anthology, and it's got all the artwork in. And
Yeah.
It's just I love it. It's so cool.
Nice. I used to
fact-
visit Forbidden Planet once a month with my stepfather when he'd go into town to buy the latest edition of Star Trek Voyager or Deep Space Nine when it came out on VHS.
Wow.
It was great.
See, Deep Space
in the
Nine, that's where
dizzy.
I started to kind of lose
See,
interest in
really?
Star Trek. Yeah.
I thought Deep Space Nine was probably one of the best for me.
Really?
Is that
Yeah.
with Kate Mulgrew as the captain?
That's no.
That's
It's,
Voyager.
yeah.
Deep Space Nine is the Cisco black guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I loved it. And Odo and the Holosuite and the Delta quadrant on the other side of the wormhole and all of that.
Always in quadrants. Space. So anyone have anything to add to this? The scene?
This scene actually, where you see him pulling on the metal bits in his arm and making his fingers go up and down. I remember as a kid actually doing it myself and being like, I wonder if I can feel it, and just pressing my thumb and just moving my fingers up and down. I was like, oh my god, I can actually feel it.
You know the
That's
lighter
so
trick,
cool.
right? You know the lighter trick. You know lighters that electric lighters that give off a little spark. If you take the top off so that the spark just comes out, you can put the lighter upside down on your wrist and then press the button, and it sends a charge to the tendons, and it makes your fingers flick. That's true. That's for real. Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm so going to try that.
Don't try this at
Wait,
home,
we've got a
kids.
lighter here. I reckon we could do it.
Do it. Ethan looks
2 Minute Terminator holds no responsibility for anyone who damages their body in the pursuit of this.
I'm a willing guinea pig.
This experiment.
All my lighters are flint lighters.
Oh. I will try it out and I'll report back.
Yeah, no, do.
And on that bombshell, we say goodbye to episode 27 of the 2 Minute Terminator. Thank you for listening.
Don't play with lighters.
We'll be back tomorrow. Don't play with lighters, but do watch arthurandmerlin.co.uk, the movie I'm in. Follow Joe's blog at Jojo's Dojo on Twitter, which is funny as hell. And
You don't know that.
Yes, I do.
He doesn't know that.
You sent me a few screen grabs of it, and I've checked in it from time to time.
Okay. I better start tweeting
Well, that
shit.
gets me off the hook.
I
lied! You can find me, of course, at ethanmckinley.com and the other podcast I do, which is Questionable.
Please come back.
And we'll see you tomorrow with episode 28, which is minute 56 to 58. We're getting to the hour point, folks. And it's Arnie styling his hair and that weird rubber head when he takes his eye out. So we'll see you then.
Hasta la vista.
Baby.
Bye.
I'm Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I'm stupid in my head. I'm Arnold Schwarzenegger.